Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new Let's Play series in Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich. Today we are going to be playing as Serbia. So, my goal for a Serbia campaign is one, take over all of Bulgaria. I feel like that is a given. And then, try to expand and take over as much of Austria as possible, which I think is going to be fantastic. My goal is to try to form Yugoslavia, because I don't recall ever seeing it in Kaiserreich. Like, I can't remember a time in which I've seen Yugoslavia on the map. So I think that could be interesting. My goal, at least, I think I said my goal like 5 times, but my plan is to enact that war once Austria is probably worth the International. Because I feel like that's going to be the easiest time to strike. The first things first, we can't do Congress of Bulgaria or any of these until next year. So we got to worry about either army reform, economic policy. Do we want to go for superior firepower or grand battle plan? Probably superior firepower, motorized. Get 3 times land options, some tanks as well. A lot of recruit population. 100 times for infantry equipment is nice as well. Bonuses to the Marines, I really don't see that being that good. We're probably just going to go for economic policy first. Our first war, of course, is going to be against the Bulgarians, so we'll start drawing up our front lines now. I'm hoping Romania up here does not have their civil war. That would be against my best interest. Go to military factories here. Go for our basic techs as well. Because I need all of my faction members to be in good strength. So you are right now kind of plain. You got some artillery and you were cavalry division. So I'm going to remove all of these guys. If you were a lightning bolt, you are now just a regular infantry division. Thank you. We're probably going to need some artillery, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. Of course, we're going to prioritize reinforcements. Get 3 divisions in training. Immediately get our Army and Navy experience, even though we're probably not going to use that right away. And then import. Do I need to import materials? Because I only have 3 factories right now, which is pretty bad. 2 civilian factories or 1 civilian, 2 military. Requires all the following. Focus on. So do I want to go for civilian or military? So this is going to be 3 civilian, 1 military factory. Or we go for 1 civilian, 4 military factories. So that's 4 factories against 5. Like we're gaining a factory through here already. Getting some production as well, which is definitely I think a lot better than getting building slots. We're probably going to focus on industry instead of agriculture. Just because I think the bonuses are just better. So the Kingdom of Serbia. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand by Serbian nationalists in 1914 proved to be a catalyst to begin the Weltkrieg. Despite expecting an easy campaign, Austrian forces only managed to occupy Serbia itself in late 1915, and because of the entrance of Bulgaria into the war after the Serbia's southern territories were handed over to Bulgaria, whilst the remainder were kept under Soviet or Austrian occupation until 1926. When the Austrians were forced to withdraw their troops due to ethnic tensions elsewhere in the empire, since then, Serbia struggled to survive, keeping a low profile in light of knowledge that she could not stand up to any sort of military attack. Over time, however, the government has become increasingly anti-Austrian and egoistic, and knowing that they could not hope to defeat Austria, they have instead turned their attention southwards towards the lands occupied by Bulgaria. Several diplomatic talks have been held and been conducted with the Romanian Greek governments, with the view of undermining Bulgarian hegemony in the region, and some talk of a formal alliance is not far off. Can Serbia successfully steer a course of triumph in the Bulgarian matter, and if so, can she finally defeat her old enemy Austria and realize her dreams of a pan-Slavic union? The answer is hopefully, because if you're watching the last campaign as Ukraine, we know we did not succeed at all against the Austrians. A spoiler alert, if you have not watched the end of the series, which would have been, I think, yesterday. The Kremlin's been shot. Nobody's surprised there. How many troops do you have? 11 to 20... You know, immediately already are kind of weaker than all of us, but we still have about a year and a half. Was it 38 or 37? No, 1937. So he's got about a year. So we're probably going to go down to Slavic Federation. But what kind of government are we going to have? Probably not a regency. I don't think that would be political power. Recovery rate and reinforcement rate's not too bad. If you go for Republic, we get stability, war. Look, I don't need to know about the total list. It's fine. Research P plus 5%, as well as stability and war support, is nice. Political power gain is kind of garbage. Political power gain and stability is much nicer. Super good factory minus 10% is pretty good. 1 extra civilian factory is not bad. And you are resource gain and daily political power gain. Okay. Well, on the other hand, if we were to do a absolute monarchy, we get a ton of modifiers here. Attack on core territory sounds really good if we're about to attack into Bulgaria. As well as an extra 10% stability. So I think we might just go for absolute monarchy. The SNS becomes ruling party, which is probably paternal autocrats if I had to take a guess. Like, are you considered core? It's a claim. It's not considered a core territory. Which is a real shame. Like, of course, I would like to take over as much territory as I possibly can. And we definitely can't afford to, we're just not building artillery right now. We're building 5 a week. Not even 1 a day. Which is, like, pretty bad. Like, how long will it take for us to get all the artillery we need? 51 days? I mean, that's not great. Did we get affected by Black Monday? I assume so. But nothing in here says anything like remove Black Monday modifier. So Sorellian's been elected in France. Which I've been told is not the one that can have the coup event fire. I think that people said this to Jacobins. I'm going to rely on that information. And hopefully I'm not mistaken in the information that I was given. We got negative. I mean, if I built like steel, like how much is this being modified by? Only a 10% penalty. That's really not that bad. 10%'s fine. I'm not too worried about it. It's not wasting our factories on that, I think. Research speed and decryption would always be nice. But if we can get someone who's a technical specialist... I guess let's get the market liberals in here then. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I know democracy right now. After a brief civil war, dual government in France. You made a monarchy? Okay. Jean III? I have really no idea how France could establish a kingdom down here without, like, massive, civil repercussions. But, you know, what do I know? The answer is not much. So right now, if we were to declare war on Bulgaria, I feel like we'd have a pretty easy time with it. Seeing as they don't have enough troops to even put them on our entire borders. Why do you not like me? Is it just a different ideology? Yeah, nothing too crazy there. Apparently, we are similar. I don't know if I agree with you, but sure. So we're definitely going to focus on industry, expanding the Air Force. Not that important. And again, we still have months until we actually have to worry about our, you know, like, I guess our story focuses, depending on how you want to, like, consider them. Change declare war on somebody over there, so not too worried. 13 to 18 divisions against 18 to 36. So the Qing should be able to win that. Afghanistan has ended their war. I'm guessing they lost. That's going to be my guess. Yeah, they did. Not a huge surprise. I don't think anybody was really expecting them to succeed in that war. Yes, we got an extra research slot, so let's immediately go for research speed. Seems like a pretty good way to start. You know, it's one of those attacks that you just want to get as early as possible. It'll pay dividends on its own. And also, just remove this modifier. We don't need to look at those things. We know we're not in a great spot. Our manpower is also not great. Do I have manpower for this stuff? I do, so you're just missing equipment then. The best you only recon it. Not a surprise. They're probably going to go to war with Maklik very soon. I doubt Maklik can probably hold on. 12 to 19. I mean, I think they could. Like, I wonder what happens if Maklik just wins this war. I mean, I've never seen it happen, but it could be interesting. We're just slowly training up these troops. Again, it's going to take almost like an entire year for us to get those rifles ready, but an entire year is about how long we have until we actually go to war with Bulgaria in the first place, so I'm not too worried about it. You know, you got some economic affairs, because you do get affected by Black Monday. Luckily, I don't. Apparently, I have no trading relations with Germany at all. If we can, like, just kill Bulgaria, puppet them ourselves, and keep Romania and Greece in our faction. Because Greece does like to join up with, the Entente a lot. Which I'm not a fan of course. Might as well go for better industry. We have our tech bonus towards it. But we want to go for improved machine tools. And get it while it's ahead of time. You have a base cost of 170. You have a base cost of 127. So you know what? This is probably actually a better use for it. Let's try to make this... Because right now we just need to make guns as fast as possible. Like, we do also need artillery, but not that much. And soon, once we are done with all of our focuses... Okay, so now the Russian Civil War has begun. 2035 against significantly more. We'll see how that turns out for them. I'm assuming the Soviets are going to lose. And Finland's declared war on Russia, so we might be in a situation like we saw with Ukraine, where the Russian Republic might just get a war on too many fronts, and they can't actually survive it. Unfortunately, I don't have a big enough army to actually effectively utilize them. So we'll invest in our railroads for now. Probably want to assign commanders to our armies as well. Okay, so Mosley's been elected chairman of the TUC. You're trying to do some maneuvers in the Carpathians. Hungary. Can you actually go to war with Austria? That would be nice to see. I mean, they have gone conservative. But you should just... During your renegotiation 1937, you should just piss off Hungary as much as humanly possible. And just begin a war between the two of you. And then I can hopefully just pounce on the opportunity to get something done here. But we probably still do need some steel. That might actually be the weakest member of the, of our soon-to-be faction, which is disappointing. Okay, got construction 1. Do we want excavation? Like, what's a plus 10% for what we're currently making? It's going to be like plus 1 steel. Which, to me, doesn't really seem like that meaningful. I mean, of course, once you get all of them, it's like a plus 50%. That's pretty good. But pretty good is not going to cut it right now. So we'll just get some radios. Give a good talk on the old walkie-talkie. We also got a brand new division to sign up to the front lines. I do notice that they do have like a single fort here. It's only level 1. But if we can capture Vidin right away and have the fort under our control, that would be nice. Of course, we do have our Air Force as well. Okay, air superiority and close air support over the Eastern Balkans, because that's where a majority of our battles are going to be taking place, I would assume. So Bulgaria. Of course, we're not gonna, if they do like the offer peace, we're not gonna do it. We're just gonna keep on attacking them until we have complete and total victory. Nothing left, nothing less will suffice. Vidovan. Vidovan represents a day to commemorate Saint Prince Lazar and the Serbian holy martyrs who came to lives to defend the true faith. The Battle of Kosovo and the Ottoman Empire. Sure, 20 political power. Does that allow me to go up to either war economy or... I guess I go to early mobilization right now. I mean, that seems pretty good. So let's just do that. Allows us to build factories a little bit faster. We do have 4 civilians, so we probably want to trade 1 away for steel. We'll go trade that with the Russian Republic. I mean, they're Slavic as well. Our Slavic brothers. And the Christian Socialists have won in Italy. That's okay. It's not really a big deal. So Sofia shouldn't be like too difficult to take. We do have a lot of command power, which you can use on you. So we're going to go for an offensive doctrine. And let's go for organization first. Yes, we'll just keep these 2 for now. And hopefully once he starts, you know, upgrading, we can get some better things for him as well. We got how much longer for the railroads? Not too much longer. We're like halfway through the year. 12 days for you. Then we go for war industry, straight into the expanding the mining complex, and then get our extra research would be nice. And I'm probably going to go for the... I still don't know. The 1 infantry weapons is pretty good. 1 land for in Belgrade doesn't matter. Like, mobilization of the masses, expand weapons factories, those I think are 2 pretty good. But when I'm looking in here, I really don't see anything. The patriotic spirit is also pretty good. It's a 1% recruited population. But the attack on core territory, I just don't think is very good. Unless you are confident that you are not going to be going on the offensive right away. Like, if you're fighting mainly a defensive war, that 10% defense on core territory seems pretty good. But as soon as we're, let's say, in this province, we're no longer in core territory, and therefore our penalty just kind of isn't there, or our bonus, I should say, isn't there anymore. Which feels like it could be done a lot better. Poland's gone for a new king. You have gone for a German king, which is great, so you're not going to join the Austrian faction, I'm pretty sure. And Siamese Civil War has begun. And I don't think that matters too much. Like, do you actually have a unique focus? You do. I wonder how like a Siam game would go. If that would be any good. I don't know if Siam is getting updated with the China update. To be honest, I really don't know who's getting updated in those updates at all. Other than, you know, China itself, Japan, those kind of reasons. I know the Ottomans are getting an update soon. Canada, I believe, is also supposed to be getting an update at some point. So once those updates go through, we'll probably go back and revisit Canada. Okay, actually, let's just keep these guys at 1. We don't need to deploy anything more than this for now. So in August, we can declare a republic, not a republic, we can crown a king on February 1st. Then you are ready for in March, right? Or May? You're in May, so a few months later. So you actually are done very quickly. So in 14 days, we just get these both done right away. Probably go for Monument of Unknown Hero. And then that should give us enough time, as soon as this is done, to start going into the Congress of Belgrade. To allow us to take out these pesky Bulgarians. They're also adopting some industrialization. Which is fine. If they want to build some military factories in their country that I can take over, that sounds lovely. I would definitely support that decision on their part. So I do believe they are expanding faster than we are. In fact, if anything, they're kind of at roughly equal strength to all of us right now. Which is a little worrying. But I'm not too concerned. I am not worried about the threat that Bulgaria can pose to us. Now, so just go straight up to partial mobilization. Yeah, absolutely, go up to it. So Bulgaria's cleared their independence. They're probably going to immediately join up with the Germans anyway in the Reichspakt. That seems to be what always happens. So what's the point of them declaring independence? I don't really know. It seems like it doesn't really change anything with the way the game actually works. You're expanding the army. Yeah, they join the Reichspakt. Not a huge surprise. They do it every single game. The Persia's gone socialist. It looks like the Soviets are doing a pretty meh job. I mean, the front lines haven't changed too much. We'll see what Russia does with Japan, though. Like, if you take over all of Siberia, and then Russia declares war on you, that could definitely pose a threat to the Russians. Okay, mechanical computing, so let's go for... You're still a little bit ahead of time. So let's go for some support equipment. Let's go for... Might as well get, like, the early tank models ready. But I think this is going to be a good time to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching. My name is Anthem. If you enjoyed, run a thumbs up. Not enjoyed, you can always thumb down. Want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.